All right. So, uh, nobody but me. This right here is just, first of all, I'm not really good at introducing myself. But this whole video is about me, and I'm probably gonna make another one about me. Um, so let's start with me. My name is Britiani Sakira Quantanis Ariel Goulet. I think that my last name is spelled Gullatt. But what if the two T's in written form, cursive written form, was really an H? Goulet, Gullah. Am I part of the Gullah tribe? Because I'm very deep in my culture. Anyway, um, one thing about me that stick out from the rest of them, of people, is that I'm me. I know this is true. This is true. And I'm the type of person, I believe in miracles. I believe in ancestors and angels and true love, even at first sight. I believe in all the impossibles and magical things. And I don't think we believe in it now because I feel like we feel like we're only human. And we're not just only human. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And this world wants to remind us how human we are, how fleshly we are. And nobody's telling us that, hey, you don't have to live like that. You don't have to think like that. You don't have to eat like that. And that is what that's my little purpose, or um that's my being. I used to be a Christian. I am no longer a Christian. I don't um I hope I don't offend any Christians or anybody that is family or friends of Christians like me. But that's just something personally I just learned not to be a part of. And um I don't like being touched. I don't like kissing. I don't like red velvet cake. I don't eat hot sauce. Like, it's just things about me that's just like, huh? Bitch, are you human? But no, not only human. Sometimes I feel like I'm not even from here. But I have a great sense of humor and philosophy. Like, one day I sat in my car and I said to God, look, I was just like this in my car, leaned. And I'm like, God, look, I ain't got nothing else to lose. Can you, like, look, in my heart, before I originally started being a Christian, I grew up as a Christian, and then I lost my religion. I ain't gonna say I lost it, I completely let it go. And it was the best thing I could do. Why? For me. And not just for me, but for my ancestors. Because I feel like when you are when you don't have the choice to believe, um, when you don't have the choice to study something that you should put your whole soul on. If I would have known the history of being a Christian, I definitely wouldn't have picked being a Christian. And I can honestly say, if I'm being honest with myself, there is no way that I would pick a religion to follow simply because I know how to act. It's written on the table of my heart and my mind, and the two touch and agree. I know how to treat my elders. I know how to treat kids. I know rape is bad. I know not to kill anybody. I know how to respect people. I know that whatever I put out is what I get back. I know things. I know how to pray now. And it didn't come through Christianity. It didn't come from a pastor. I literally went to God in my spirit and asked God, how do you do this? How? How, Sway? So God was like, are you sure you want to know? Now I'm sitting back in my car and I'm thinking like, God, look, just give me the truth, because I believe in you. And at the time I didn't believe in Jesus. And I'm getting all of this facts, like, Jesus' real name was not Jesus. The letter J didn't even exist. That's some facts that will freak with your mental. Like, y'all say something about the name Jesus, but the name didn't even exist before Jesus. So what is saving lives? What is holding up faith if that is not his name, but it works when you call upon it? Energy. God is energy. God reminded me and reminds me constantly right now because of how I was brought up. And I'm still learning so much about God. I feel like God needs to be justified, because the way that they're making God look is not how God looks. They want you to pick between either or, and God is like, I'm both. Let me explain. God is not just male. God is not just female. God is both. God is both. Because the two touch and agree. And 1 + 1 is 3. Certain things like that, God picks with my mind because he know I love to think. I'm born under the planet Mercury. I'm a Gemini. I have 2 different perspectives. I was born not head first, but foot first. So I have a different perspective to other people. And they say that how you are as a child affects how you are as an adult. Well, I dare say the way you came into this world affects how you are as a child, which affects how you are as an adult. And how you think as an adult affects how you think and are as an adult affects how you are as an older person. Because you've done so much stuff in your younger days, it can make you more angry and like, oh, I should have did that. Or it could be like, I'm so glad, like, I'm ready to go. You ready, Lord? Some people have different take on with life. I just really, 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 really have been encouraged by God to be myself. And it's a challenge to be by myself. I mean, it's a challenge to be myself sometimes because I'm too much for people. Come on, I'm a Gemini. Gemini and Leos are like the most hated sign, but they get along just well with everybody. So Geminis have to be the most misunderstood people. Why? Because we're only human. We're the only humans on the whole zodiac. Everybody's only half human, or just complete animal. But Gemini, we have masculine and feminine perspective. Me personally being born 360 is like a whole different perspective. Inward, outward, as above, so below, as within, so without. It's a lot of the double edge going with me. And that's why God really wanted me to say what I need, say my truth. I'm not sure where God needs me to be, but or wants me to do, but I know I have to be myself to do it. And I can't be shy no more. I've observed too much. Well, not too much. I've observed a lot and not only have good intent. When I was a little girl, the main thing I prayed about was I remember crying, asking God, like, am I good? Am I good? I just want to be good. Like, I just want to be good. And I remember that when I forgot myself and who I was. So as an adult, I remember back when I was a child, I had to remember what made me happy as a child because I couldn't remember what makes me happy as an adult. I thought that being a wife would make me happy. I thought that being a mother would make me happy. And yes, it does make you happy, but there are some times you be like, look, right now I really just I don't feel like I'm being the best mommy right now or the best daddy for other people. And God had to isolate me from my house, my kids, my husband, my family, everything, just to prove to me that I am all I need. I'm not saying I'm better without my kids or my husband or nothing like that. Definitely good without my husband though. Because we're no longer together. Some things are better left broke. But God had to allow me to see that, listen, you have everything you need. You are everything I created you to be. All you have to do is believe in yourself. Fulfill your heart's desire. If you don't feel like going out on Tuesday, don't go nowhere Tuesday because there's a reason why you feel like, damn, I forgot something or I'm missing something. That's God telling you. When you say something told me, it's not something. That's God. And we need to stop ignoring that feeling. The society tell you it's okay to talk to yourself just long as you don't answer back. And because of my smart mind, I asked, well, who's supposed to be answering? Ain't it supposed to be you? Because if it's anybody else, that's a problem. Talk to yourself and answer back. It's not crazy. And if it look crazy, so be it. Ain't nobody sane in this world. You got to be crazy to live through hell and to smile through it. Is this not the devil's playground? Do we not laugh? This world needs to make sense again. And there's some things that are opinions, are very strong opinions that I have. And some things are just complete truth that I have no proof. Like God. So much proof, but not enough evidence. Or so much evidence, but not enough proof. There are certain wonders. That's why miracles happen. Miracles happen because we pray for each other. Miracles happen because we didn't give up. Miracles are what angels cause, and anybody can be an angel. And you never know when you're entertaining one. Anybody could be an angel. A frog, a cat, your mom. It's only when we move on to another life, afterlife, is when we become an ancestor. Not everybody can become an ancestor until afterlife. There's some things we can't, and on earth, there's some places we can't go. There's some people we can't see that we want to see. There's a lot we want to say that we can't be heard of or heard from. But when you're an ancestor, you can be many places at one time. Don't ever think that whoever passed in your life, your grandma, your mom, your cousin, little peanut, or whoever, they're not gone. Anybody that dies is not gone unless they're forgotten. And that's why I learned from my ancestors to build an altar, to communicate with my ancestors. As above, so below. So if we seek their guidance, do you not think that they seek ours too? There's a certain reason why we keep saying the number 1111 or wake up at 3 o'clock to 3:30. There's certain reasons for times. In the spiritual world, time does not exist. So on earth, we're late, but sometimes we meet people to say, you right on time. And you look good when you're late, fashionably late. But that's why to us it seems like God don't always come when we want him, but he always come when we need him because he's on time. People don't always, we don't always get to people when they want us to get to them. But when they ever need us, we're there. And it's time that we stop believing that we're just sinners. Quit letting pastors talk down to you. That's not right. Nobody has a heaven or hell to put you in, but you got the key. Why? Yeah, they say Jesus got the key, but guess who's within? Who is inside of you? All right then, so guess who has the key? You do. Up here. This is your key. This is your key. And when the two touch and agree, you are the key. Love is the key. What are you made out of? Love. Not everything is made out of love, but everything God made was out of love, and it was good. So how we use things is like a double-edged sword. We can use it for good, or we can use it for bad. A knife to kill people with, bad. To cut a fruit, good. All right? Knives to kill people with for nothing, bad. To kill somebody because you're protecting your family after somebody try to invade your home and harm you, that's good. And God had to explain to me, like, nah, you can't always be good. You have to be bad. Some bad things are necessary in order for something good to happen. But evil is never necessary. Like rape, that is never necessary. You can pull the good out of it, but it's not necessary to rape anybody. It's not necessary to do something like racism. That's unnecessary. Rape, that's unnecessary. We don't need that in the world. We are forced to look at the best, to pull the best out of there. We're forced to deal with that, to pull ourselves out of there. Certain stuff don't need to happen. God told me to speak my truth. And he told me like this. I'm not going to say he. God told me like this. What you going to do with the truth? Will you hold it? Keep it to yourself? Would you share it? I mean, because you can hold the truth, but Ain't nobody gonna see the truth on you. They're just gonna see something that's weighing you down. So what are you gonna do with the truth? And I told God, I'll do whatever you need me to do with it. I don't care how I look, because I ain't got nothing else to lose. I have so much to gain. So much more to gain. And I'm not the only one. I lost my religion. I gave up my religion to find God. I let go. What I'm saying is that I let go how man told me God was. And I went to God myself and asked him, how are you? How are you? Sometimes you got to stop sending messages and actually just look, go face to face. And light a candle when you do it. Why? Certain things in the Bible will tell you how to pray based on, but man will tell you that it's wrong. Like I could light a candle and pray, and they would tell me, candles are bad. But in the Bible, when God first made his appearance, when God first made an appearance, God said God was a consuming fire. The candle can be looked at as evil or good. I could be looked at as evil or bad or good. This water, yeah, water is good for you, but drink too much water. Too much of anything is bad. Moderation is the key. Good intent. Your intent is what causes you to be protected. Your intent is what is magic. Your belief is everything, and the truth shall set you free. Belief and truth almost like they go hand in hand, because it is true that, how can I put this analogy? Give it to me, God. Give it to me. Okay. Right. Christianity came from truth. Originally came from truth. When all was said and done, it was used as bad. Bad. People were killing under the name of Jesus, and that is definitely not of God. Nowadays, being a Christian, it can be good or bad. There are good Christians, there are bad Christians. What's good for you may not be good for everybody. And that's the difference between truth and belief. Because I could believe that this will work out for you. And my truth is because it worked out for me. But because you believe that it will not work out for you, it will not work out for you. Doubt is the extreme bridge burner between you and your goals. That's why building your faith is very, very important. And that's why we are very much spiritual people having a human experience. And I cannot stress this out enough. If I'm beautiful, it's because it's because my energy reflects that. If I'm ugly, it's because my energy reflects that. You are what your physical appearance is what your energy looks like. And Black History Fact has nothing to do with a person, but the reason why Black is here. You look in the sky, in the night sky, there's ether, darkness. That's what it is, ether. There are 7 substances. First, there's magnetism. Compressed magnetism is electricity. Compressed electricity is light. Compressed light is ether. Now, ether is like the glue between the other substances and the other substances on the other end, which you have ether. Then you have gas. Compressed gas is liquid. Compressed liquid is solid. This is solid. This is ether in solid form. Everything that we see is, they say, is not really here. We live in a matrix. But I'm not a scientist. I'm not a metaphysics. But I do love to study energy and history. And there are some things that God give to me that I know that I can't actually go look it up, even if I could. Some evidence are just beyond. Our technology doesn't succeed beyond the beginning of the universe. You feel me? So it can only be understood between you and I, because it's something that you know in your mind and in your heart, and something I know in my mind and in my heart, that it makes sense. Question. I mean, like, everybody has questioned their religion before. Everybody has questioned things that people say not to question. Anything biblical that I ask, I only ask God. And I make sure that I'm only talking to God. Regardless of what's going on in your life, God really wants everyone to know, don't fall for it. Don't fall for the hype of this, this rubbish. Just in case I have kids watching. Don't fall for the hype of this stuff. Don't get caught up in this world. Because this world is we only are born in this world. We're not of this world. Our kingdom, our queendom is up here. And it's funny, like, if you really pay attention, have you ever heard, like, there's a part in the Bible where it says that the earth or the world is like a dome on 4 pillars. What is this called? Your dome. Arms, 1, 2, and legs, 3, 4, on 4 pillars. Jesus once said that they tell you that the kingdom of heaven is neither here or neither there, but up here. What two should touch and agree? Because sometimes we think too much, or we're overreacting. But if we thought about why we feel this way, if we really understood with our minds, if we feel with our hearts and think with our minds, and sometimes understand why we think and why we feel this way, we would not be so impulsive. This world wants you to be fast, catch up, do this, do that, do this. Nah, you gotta catch up the flow. Girls, 2008, this 2020, it's this 2020. Come on, it's 2021. Come on, catch up. No, slow down. And don't rush. Another thing, of my opinion, side note, 40 is not old. Because if 40 old, then kids don't have that much longer to be children. And y'all telling these kids, stay in the child's place. They don't have time. They're too big to do this. They're too big to say that. Y'all, there's a reason why these kids start hunching at a young age. It's already in them. And I know it. I'm not saying that it's right for them to act on it. But you got some explaining to do. If you ever caught them hunching or something, explain to them what they feeling. And if you can't, find out a way before they start acting into it. I'm so serious. I was touched on at a young age, very, very, very young age. And I think back on it, in kindergarten, I was playing with myself. And kindergarten, I remember it was nap time. I completed the task. How did I know to do that? I got that from somebody who done that to me. And I didn't understand it. If I told my parents, how would they react? What would they tell me? Would they be mad at me? I don't know. Was this bad or was it good? I don't know. Should I tell you about this? What? So really, when our kids have these questions, regardless of how many questions they ask, try your best to answer everyone. Try. They ask you where babies come from. If you gotta pull out an analogy off the hieroglyphs from the wall and tell them it's something miraculous. It's a miraculous conception or something. Because what I'm not gonna believe is that, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that. There's certain things that we are forced to believe, and there's something we grow to believe. Be careful how people force their beliefs on you. Take heed. Verily, verily. And while we right here, since I'm on biblical terms, I really need to get this out. There's reason why there's a link between Black people, the Bible, and slavery. Jesus and God. And other people don't see it. Well, the first slave ship was called Jesus. Slave ship. So slavery has something to do with Jesus. Harriett Tubman, she said, had I freed a lot more slaves, if only they knew they were slaves. And you really have to slow that quote down. If I only freed a lot, I could only free a lot more slaves. She could have freed a lot more slaves, but they didn't know they were slaves. You getting beat daily. You're told how to think, what to wear, when to stop working. You're told all these things, and you know you don't have the same equal rights as these other people. Obviously, you're a slave. What type of slave was she talking about? Yeah? The mentality, slave mentality. What they did to us in slavery, Black people and white people, because white people, I don't care how many Black people get mad, it's the reason why we call white people rednecks. And it ain't because they racist. It's because they worked out in their field and the sun burnt their necks till it's red. Some white people can work in heat. They're not white. Some white people label themselves white people because that's just what their skin looks like. That's what they've been called over their generations. But on their heart, they got heart. So I'm not gonna take that away from white people. I know it's Black History Month, but there are some. If it had not been for some white people, we would not have made it. Simply because we had to have the White House, or not the Capitol, not DC White House. I'm talking about Rock Hill, South Carolina, White House, where the slaves come and they would hide. So when the slave masters come looking for them, there were white people saying, nah, we ain't see no slaves here. We needed them. We needed JFK. We needed that. Certain white people we needed. And we need them same white people now. That's why I'm not so quick to bash all white people. Some of y'all not white. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna do it how God detects white people. If I don't know, I'm just, this is where I got a strong opinion at. If the sun, which gives everything life, brings you death, then maybe you. If the one thing that gave life to everything brings death to you, maybe you're, I ain't gonna say you don't belong here, but this solar system can't, I don't want to say this in a disrespectful way, so I'm just gonna say it. It's my channel. If the sun is harmful to you, to you white people, not all of y'all, but to the white people that is harmed, like harmed, killed just by the sight of it or too long in it, maybe y'all just purely white. Just purely white. Some people can't survive the solar system. And I think it's the wicked people in high places. Because as far as I know, white people love tanning, even if it's not for long. So who the fuck wants to block out the sun and live in the darkness? Bill Gates? Oh, and that's another thing I really do not like. Dr. Sebi was called a doctor from where he started practicing at. They called him a doctor because he was healing people. It don't take license. If you heal people, you're a healer. If you teach people, you're a teacher. If you preach people, you're a good job, faster. So they called him Dr. Sebi. Regardless if you're a doctor of herbs, you're a doctor of psychology, you're a doctor of physical, you're a doctor of dealing with the private area, you're a doctor because you can heal certain parts of the body or the type or their energy. The only way people can kill you physically if they killed you spiritually first. And right now, they're feeding us a lot of things that destroys our pineal gland. And Dr. Sebi believed that we don't have to take drugs, over-the-counter drugs, because those are legal drugs that they serve you over the counter. So he believed that we don't have to take that maybe we could just eat live food so we can live. And you spell live and live the same way, so why not? No symptoms, no side effects. It's just absolute 100% perfect fix. Now, no quick fix is something our bodies didn't take no quick fix. Our bodies took time to become what we are. You got to think. We don't know who we are. We don't know how perfectly we are made. We are perfect when we're being ourselves. If we're being anything other than us, then we ain't living. That's why kids are like, they challenge themselves every day. You see a child that stay on top of a rock, they like this. And you tell them, don't you jump off that rock, and they jump. Don't tell them they can't be themselves. I mean, I ain't saying don't tell them jump off that rock, because heights, broken bones, DSS, we ain't got time for that. But they challenge themselves. They know who they are. They know what they want to be or something they want to be like. I want to be a firefighter. Yeah, it's because we make it look cool. But if they knew all the hard work that it took, they'll be like, you know what? I think I just want to start my own brewery, or, I want to be a baseball player because it's something they like to do. Let them find something they like to do. But anyway, only when we introduce them to a certain restriction, like, sometimes it's religion. We do it with the best of love, but sometimes we hinder them we put them in this box. You can't do this. You can't do that. No, because God did this, and you have to do this every certain day. We give them rituals, and they grow with that they go with that instead of growing with that. And Dr. Sebi is one of those people who just healed people from herbs. And they told him, basically, you ain't no doctor. You sit here talking about you help these people and you're not a doctor. But he got away with that because they proved him to be, he brung it here in America. He didn't start this in America. So here, now you're a doctor. Now they call him Dr. Sebi here in America because they had to prove, like, look, they call me doctor over here because I do this. And I'm trying to help y'all out over here. How about we just eat, to live then? That's all he said. How about we just eat to live? And he still cured people, cure AIDS, cure herpes, Dr. Sebi. And then they killed the man in police custody. I don't care what they say. Rather he died of pneumonia or whatever. There's a reason. If this man can actually describe to you how people die from not taking care of themselves and how if he can cure AIDS and herpes and anything else, how he died of pneumonia. Even if he had it, why would he die from pneumonia? Unless it was something that he's just fed up with. There are so many ways to kill yourself, and stress is one of them. Giving up because everybody else, you can't find help. It's a tortured soul. You're already a soul trapped in your body. I ain't gonna say trapped, but just imagine how your thoughts feel when they're not heard. Just imagine how your heart feel when it can't feel. Like, have any of y'all ever been numb before? That trap feeling? Have you ever been a child and had a voice that wasn't heard because you're not an adult? Like, bro, this world would trap you. We gotta be spiritual people to live through here. I feel like my heart I feel like a pastor that can't be helped around here. Can't get no help. I promise you, that's how my heart feel. Like, sometimes I just want to jump with the fire in my heart and just cry. Like, you get fed up with society, not the people that's in it, but the way that society is being ran. I don't like it. And hate is a very strong word. But there are some people that want you to die. They want you to kill yourself. They want you to suffer. They want to teach you uneducated things and make you seem like you're educating yourself. They want to lie to you. And it's a lie. We shouldn't be paying taxes. Insurance is bullshit. But we go along with it to keep the peace. swear I can't get no help around here. It feels like I'm the only one in this world that's thinking like this. And it pisses me off. And so I have to teach y'all if you don't already know. And I don't care how I look doing this. I don't care how evil it looks. I don't care how evil it sounds. Just because it's not you, just know it's of God. Whatever is good to the bad is also bad to the good. Batman's a villain in Joker's eyes. The Joker is a villain in Batman's eyes. Some people just rather be vigilantes and just be like, you know what, y'all have it. I'll with y'all when y'all need me, or if I feel the need to intervene. But other than that, it's my own personal, and I'd rather be a vigilante. Cause you get the best of both worlds. I'm just kidding. But I don't agree with Bill Gates simply because this man is not a doctor. And know what y'all got doctor say before? Because he wasn't a doctor. This man is using chemicals. But he's using food. Okay. And now he has been funded to vaccinate the whole world. Not only that, but he done teamed up with Johnson and Johnson, which has lawsuits out the booty hole because they've been flipping people over. So you gonna team an unlicensed doctor with, who also doesn't work with chemicals, randomly test the Black community first. The secret documentary of Bill Gates. It's still on YouTube. Told those women in that village that, it's just a wellness check, wellness shot, yearly checkup, whatever. Killed them. Told them they wouldn't get cancer. Gave them cancer. Serious injuries. Serious medical conditions. Just for testing it out. And I'm at work. And I'm the only Black. I'm not the only Black teacher here. But I'm the only Black one teacher. I'm mostly here working with majority white people. There's only like a few of us, but I'm the only one in this building. And we have a Black intern as well. Thing is, they asked me about how do I feel about getting the vaccination for COVID. I basically was telling them that, when you buy a pet, you buy the environment or the habitat, you buy the food, and you bring the puppy in or pet in. Black people have been migrating all over the world in the sign of a swastika. They go up, or I can't remember. Okay, they go down, go that way. Next group, go sideways and go up. Next group, you go up and over. Next group, you go over and down. That way it's just a whole circle. And in a circle, there are no sides. We're all one. So when y'all took the Black people from Africa, did y'all bring the food that we grow on our soil? Mm-mm. Did you bring some environment? Mm-mm. But you brought the people. And you wonder why Black people are angry. You wonder why Black people are not really surviving in the United States. You wonder why Black people are going through what they're going through. And you have not yet to consider that maybe we took them out of their environment. What happens when you put a cat on a leash? They don't move. They just give up. Y'all have done the same thing. Not y'all. Sorry. Speaking from my heart, with a passion. But they didn't bring none of that. And then the medical system of the Western world is only set up based off the Europeans. We don't have the same analogy. Like, I told her that the analogy of a dog is not the same for a cat. And the same for the analogy of a cat isn't the same as a rat. So we don't eat the same foods. We may eat something of that similar category. We don't eat it or cook it the same. It's certain differences. You wouldn't feed a bird cat food and vice versa. But there are some things that Black people just are not. The vaccination may be good for, but definitely for us, it's dangerous. Try to give a dog chocolate or fruit. They don't eat it. So blending it in natural foods really messes us up. And anything that goes inside of our body affects us how we act out. There are certain things that decalcifies our pineal gland. If we used to thrive as a people, and I don't mean as just Black people, I mean as just people, power to the people. The people. And we made that very clear without saying just Black, because we know there are some white brothers and sisters that got our back. They're the people. But this world don't want you to focus on the problem, which I don't blame them, because we should always focus on solution. But you can't ignore that there's a problem, because you're not trying to find a solution if you don't. Realize there is a problem between Black people and white people. And it's not just Black people and white people, it's just Black people in this society. We once could not read. It was against the law for us to do shit that we can do. Sorry. It was against the law for us to do things like for Black and whites to marry. That was against the law. White people got severely, like, nowadays, I ask the question, is it harder to be white than it is Black? Or is it harder to be a mixed person? Because they will try to make you choose. You're too dark to be white. You're too light to be dark. If you go with this side, are you picking their side? Or you go with this side, are you picking the other side? It's like you're being pulled. So this race shit this race stuff got to stop. It has to. Because it makes no sense. Black people are called colored people. But when we get sick or embarrassed, we stay one color. I don't see how we're the colored people. I don't mean that with no disrespect. I'm just being all honest. Ooh, I definitely was supposed to get up with somebody. But we just got to do better. We got to think better as a people. I can't really speak for the white community. I don't have that much experience. I'm sorry. I know that all white people aren't racist. And put it like this, I know that all white people aren't prejudiced. There's a difference between being racist and prejudiced. Being prejudiced just means that you don't like a certain, I don't like you because you're Black. I don't like you because you're white. I don't like you because you're Mexican. I don't like you because you can't control what you are, which is stupid. for somebody to be racist. I mean, to be prejudiced. How you not like somebody because they're black? Don't you know the stars made them that way? Don't you know that God is black? Yeah, God is black. Let's handle this now. Jesus was black. Let's handle this now. And being racist is basically not only do you not like a person because of their ethnicity or, their skin color, something that they can't control, but you control where they live, you control how much they make, you control their income, their education, what foods what grocery stores are available to them. You control whether they go to jail or not. You control these things. That's what makes you racist. You benefit. You control certain things about another person's life, another group ethnicity's lifestyle. But being prejudiced, you don't got control over none of that. You just don't like the fact that they black. You control whether a person lives or dies. What power is that? But I said God is black because in the Bible, it did say that Jesus' skin is like burnt bronze. And for somebody, I don't know, there got to be a penny somewhere. But let's, since we're talking about just LeBron, let's take this angel. That's almost bronze. Let's take a penny. That's a little darker. Let's take the shingite stone. There's some brown in there. Some bronze-like color. But it's like burnt bronze. Jesus. How did he die? How did they say he died? He was hung. How many black people hung on trees? Hung at the stake. Hung for your people. Does that sound like anything that don't sound like the history of white people? Come on, we have common sense. Y'all use it. Come on. Why do you think they changed the Bible? The Bible says he looked like burnt skin, burnt like bronze, hair like sheep's wool. I got some cotton somewhere. Come on, man. Where my cotton at? Let's use this. Do white people have hair like that? Don't they look more like sheep's wool? Come on, y'all. Common sense. Regardless of what they preaching, we got a case because that's the wrong identity, sir. There's no way. Some things just not make sense. And no matter how much they are forcing beliefs. I'm telling you. Any white person that will have a problem with God being black is prejudice. Why? Because if you didn't take the time to look that fact up and you just automatically deny it, That's some egotistic. Mm, that's some egotistic thinking. Y'all can say I'm being egotistic because I said that Jesus was black and not white. Well, honestly, I have facts. So even if you look at the old painting, if you look at who the Pope praises, who he bows to, and she has skin darker than us. The Mother Mary has skin darker than us. The statue. The baby Jesus has a skin darker than us. There's that not facts. In DC, there's a Bible, the museum. They had to, they got a Bible, the real, the Bible that I have ain't got nothing. Now this, I've been in here, bro. I've been here almost every day. See that it look like this my grandma's Bible, but it's mine. They got a white Jesus picture in there, but it doesn't match the lyrics that's written in Revelations. It doesn't match the old ancient pictures, because remember they didn't have cameras back then in biblical days. They had artists. So these artists would draw things out. And that's another way how to deceive people. Our image. Our image. They changed our image. When they came up, the printing machine came right after, not right after, but the printing machine didn't happen that long after Jesus died. Maybe like, I don't know. I can't really give you a certain, but I know it definitely happened after the Jewish and Roman War. And they was trying to tell the world, the world already had a message. There's a reason why their Messiah is born December 25th. This Messiah is born December 25th. Their Messiah is born December 25th. It's not that they got the Messiah from there or there or there. But when Jesus told the disciples, go ahead and spread the word to every living creature, why do you think they had the same message? Think. The world is not ending, but the world as we know it is. And I mean that this age of thinking. They're trying to take over the world. And apparently, it's not going to... apparently... All right, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have to put this out there because I know God won't stop. There's so much fire in we are our ancestors in modern day. That's why some of us are afraid of heights. We don't like heights. We never been up there. But why are we afraid of something we never experienced like that? Heights. We have been up there in our spirit. We know that we done been hung before. Some of us don't wear ties. Anybody had a grandparent or something that don't like wearing ties? We like looking sharp because that's something we always did. We're very fashionable artists. We like to express. We're floetic. We are poets. We are artists. We are writers. We are musicians. We are astronomers and astrologers. We are the mind exploded. We are that Big Bang Theory. We just are very well with words. We're very well with feeling and putting it out there, describing that feeling, that thought, something that's hidden, we reveal it. But once our enemy understood how we work, there's a reason why Black people are the most spiritual people, regardless of how y'all lied about, regardless of how the enemy tried to lie about our history. No matter how many books or libraries they burnt down, they can never destroy our history because we don't die. And Black people only get more and more angry because we're not dying. I don't know, it's certain things I don't like saying, but it's certain truths I have to say. I just got to put it out there and just leave it. It's an intent thing, and I'm very conscious about how I say things because I don't want to attract death to my people. And I need for everybody to stop saying life is short. Stop saying that, because you get life after life. And guess what comes after that? Life. And after life, there's life. After life, after life, after life. We don't die. Life is not short. Quit saying that. Quit saying that the world is ending. It's not ending. God said that he will never end the earth again. God will never end the world again. I believe if God could come back down here, he would, or God would. But he would be killed. Why? Because he's Black. Because she's Black. The Bible, the museum, had to send an apology out to Black people, the African Americans, because in the Bible, there are chapters, probably about 1,000 chapters missing in the New Testament. And about maybe half or 1/3 of the chapter missing in the Old Testament. I don't know, or switched around, whatever the case may be. That was important. The story, our story, was written in the stars. And the stars, when because God is heaven, God's in the heavens, right? So what moved around in the stars happened and moved around on the earth. It was put into a book. And when that chapter was finished, somebody got the book, took those chapters out, gave us a new book. Not with the chapters, but just a book for us to believe in, to control us. When you have that one hand out, you look like the Gross sisters from the Proud Family. It's like this. It looked like gimme. It looked like it's ungrateful. It looked like it don't go hand in hand. It looked like it looked like you're about to be making a deal with somebody that you don't know their full intent. It's like taking a risk. With God, there's both. And this look like, here, let me hold you. Here, just take this. That is why it must go hand in hand, like good and bad. It gotta go hand in hand. This world is like a double-edged sword. You can't take the good without the bad. You can't take the bad without the good. You can't take the bad without, what is it, God? You can't take the good without the bad. But with the bad, there's also good. I got you. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a great tasker, and I'm thinking like God, 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 and I've never talked about God, so never mind. Man, I've been following God for a long time, bruh. I've been on this journey for a long time. All right, so it's certain things I just don't get this way of society. How can this black man, Dr. Sabi, heal with food and be killed for nothing? How can this man who's also not a doctor produce chemicals and kill people and still be led to control the health? This world, I'm telling you, it's scary to be black. It's scared to be of color. When I say black, I mean non-white. When I say black, I mean white people with black families, like black children. I know being white doesn't make you black, but sometimes black is just a culture, just like white's a culture. And it's like I don't know what it is. It's something about this. It's something about black people that these wicked people in high places want so much. Like you would kill our kids for this. You would kill me for this. You would rip a mother from her child for this. You would rape a grandmother in front of her grandson for this. You would rape and chop off the testicles of a man, a black man, for this. You would hang the Messiah for this. You would curse and rob God for this. If we are God's people and you took his people into captivity, is that not robbing God? Will a man rob God? And Jesus will. I don't get the society. I don't get why black is. I really get why black is but I don't get why people are hating. No matter what black people go through, one thing a black person will tell you. I can't speak for all of them, but majority of us like being black. It's different. Our hair defies gravity. Everybody, our hair is like nature goes up, praises go up. Our hair can drop with the right enough weight to it. But our hair goes up. Our hair gets frizzy. It goes up. White people with not frizzy hair, but curly, puffy hair. I love it. I love it. You know you got some black in you, right? I stopped celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Not because I'm against I don't know enough about the tradition. But I do know that but after the time of Jesus, I'm gonna say after the Jewish and Roman War, which is 70 AD. After that time, things changed. You know they added 1,000 years to history? How do you add 1,000 years to history? Did you know also in the Bible that Jesus told his generation that some of them would not die until they see the Son of Man coming? Do we not have people in this generation already dying now? Obviously, yes. So the Son of Man has definitely come. Did you also know that if Jesus had not already come, that none of us will be going to heaven? He had to preach to the dead. We aren't the first fruits. The first fruits have already been rose up. And there's nobody writing to the 7 churches. We don't have those churches anyway. So we can't send letters out. There's nobody sending letters. Man has been saying that Jesus is going to return since 1990 something, maybe 19, whatever, and has failed every time. Does that not tell you something? The more we wake up to the truth, the more fear tactics are going to come at us. Because God don't want you to fear him. God wants you to respect him. Like a parent, they don't want to whoop you, but they will. It reminds me in Genesis when Adam and Eve did something wrong. And God was like, Adam, where you at? The parent knows what the parents know. We know. We just be asking just to see what your reaction gonna be. What you doing in there? Where you at? We know they in the room. And when, you know how kids in the Genesis, Adam and Eve, they were hiding. They had their leaves on or whatever to cover their body. And the child comes, they could be quiet for a while in the room. We know they're in the house. God knew they were in the garden. But the parents, us parents, who did we get that from? God. The way we act as parents, certain things we do as parents, we get it from God. One thing I admire about God as a parent is that God can admit when God is wrong. And people say God is perfect. Yes, God is perfect. But God did make that one unconscious choice. And that was wiping out mankind with the flood. And intentionally did it. You know, I ain't gonna lie about that. He intentionally did it. But realized that I would never do that again. I would never do that again. Parents, sometimes we don't. My dad told me one day, I was a child, and I never forget it. I don't have to apologize because I'm the parent. That crushed me. That crushed me deeply. And I respect God for announcing, like, I know I almost killed the whole world, but I promise you I'll never do that again. I'm sorry. And he turned from that way. As parents, we, with the best intent, we do things. And when the outcome happens, it's like, I didn't mean for that. Baby, I'm sorry. Mama won't do it no more. Mama's sorry. Daddy won't do it no more. Daddy's sorry. We get that from God. And the most thing I can respect about any parent is to admit that, hey, baby girl, baby boy, I was wrong. I won't do that no more. That wasn't right. Even though I did do that, but it wasn't right. I was wrong. Not saying you was right, but the way I went about it was wrong. Let's handle it this way. So I asked God about that situation too. Like, God, help me explain the Bible. Like, how do I explain how do I explain to my people, especially to this generation, this younger generation, the generation that's coming before me? I want to uplift them. And I love this new generation is coming out on tablets. Oh shoot. Like these 6 year olds, like I promise you, my 3-year-old cannot speak, but he can spell. Big words on a tablet. I just downloaded the game and he just went at it and told me, like, Mama, took my finger and moved the letters on the word. I had no idea my son was trying to explain to me, Mama, I'm ready. I want to spell. I can spell. I can speak here. Because my son was, I don't want to talk about it. Never mind, because it makes me sad. And you have no idea the pain when you have a child. It don't even have to be my son. But because I've witnessed it with my son, to have a child that wants to talk and can't, and you know that they know that you don't understand them, but they don't know how to speak, it really it pulls heartstrings. And that's why I really want to get to my baby, but we'll talk about that at a different time. But for a child to communicate, to find their own way to communicate with you and still be unheard is, my son just looked at me like, no, not really, Mama. What else can I do? And it hurts my heart. I can't understand, baby. I don't know. It makes me weak just thinking about it. Kids are like my strength and my weakness. And I never thought that I loved kids the way that I do. But I do. I love kids, period. And that's why I'm passionate about teaching. And I want my sons to have friends who are guided right. How are those friends of his, those future friends of his, going to be guided right if their parents are not guided right? We got to protect our babies even when they get older, because they're going to surround themselves with groups of people without you. And you want to make sure that your babies are glitter. You know, God has a real funny sense of humor. You know, God knows I love glitter. And the one thing he got on my face right now when I'm crying is glitter. Thank you. It's the little things that just be grateful for every little thing. But I asked God, how could I communicate like this? To say that Jesus has already came is like a Christian looking at me like, are you stupid? And I don't mean no disrespect at all. But I really am serious. I'm not playing about my spirituality. I'm not playing about God. You said he had a gun. Name one person who play like that. I'm just kidding. But I don't like being sad. It's a terrible feeling. I don't like being angry. It's a terrible feeling. So please excuse my random silly moments when I'm in the middle of my passion or the reason for my passion. My eyes look very different. Anyway, so God put to me like this. I'm going to go through it like this. God, I sit in my chair. I ask God, God, I understand. I believe. And there's proof that that Jesus already came. How would I break this down to the generation and to a way that they will understand the Bible, just what you were trying to do? And God said like this. Let's say I had a computer. You know those big box computers? And it had a virus, corruption, all types of violence, fornicating, porn, connecting the rims. And it just kept popping up everywhere. It's everywhere, you know. And those biblical days, there's a lot of terrible, you think 2020, 2021 is bad. Psh, let's imagine how it was before Jesus was here. And I ain't gonna say whatever his name is because it sounds disrespectful, but that is not Jesus's real name. So I'm just gonna call Jesus Jesus or Yah, because y'all would tell me, oh, it's Yahweh, it's Yahweh, it's Yah, it's Jah, and I'm thinking like, bruh, all of y'all are just, I don't want to say y'all wrong, I'm not saying y'all right, but there's no way you can tell me, what that means. That just say that's what that is without backing it up. And then when everybody backs up their truth, it's like, now which one of you are right? Because you got proof, you got proof, you got proof, and you got proof. So I'm just finna call him what I've been grown to name him, Jesus. And it still works because what your heart and your mind set to, like when your baby says bye-bye instead of bottle, you know what he's relating it to. And God is doing the same thing with Jesus. He knows what you are relating it to. So, God says, so I had this big computer, right? And there's a whole bunch of pop-ups going on, right? So I deleted everything but one file. Then I realized, dang, I could have went another way about it. So I went another way. I don't know why this accent is coming out, but that's how God gave it to me. But deleted everything. So I could have went another way about it, but I didn't. So I did. And I promised that I told myself, look, for now on, we're gonna just stop deleting files like that, because I could have used that file and just filtered it through. So I'm gonna do that next time. I'm just gonna go through my files and be more organized. So okay. And so he has a computer. That one file was that one file that was left behind, that was Noah's family. Let's accumulate. Let's take this computer as in the world. The old computer is the old world. The pop-ups is the corruption that was going on in the world. The pop-ups in the computer. When he wiped that whole computer clean, is him wiping that whole world clean, leaving one file, one family, and that was Noah. You know what to do now. And God said also, So I came up with this revelation, Jesus file. In fact, it's a CD. And why I related to CDs, because when God told me that he came up with a Jesus program, the Jesus program was on a CD. Bear with me. I asked God, what, why was it important for this Jesus program to come from the line of David? And the word David kept repeating in my head, like David, DVD, DVD. The abbreviations of David, I'm going to say, is DVD. And Jesus is the seed. And I just kept breaking it down. Seed, seed, CD. How do you spell seed? SEE. CD. What is the relation of a DVD and a CD? Complete same line, right? Jesus was the program from the line of David. That program was like God going digital. It's like you're going from cassette to DVD. It's like you're going from an old world to a new world. But first, you got to get with the program. Let's talk about the program, the Jesus program. So this Jesus program, in order to get with it, just like we would have to do certain things to update our computer, we either get a new one, and update our system. This world was ran by the law. The old world was ran completely by law. And you had to be of certain stance, a certain way to even get in contact with God. Like you start stealing, even if you had to feed your family, or your hand get cut off. Balls, oh, you cheat, death. You steal, death. You lie, death. You disrespect, death. Back then. So God didn't like all that. That's the part of the corruption that God wanted to just but he said, look, it's gonna take something for us to know. When you know better, you do better. So he left the Noah. And just like we will update our computer system to get rid of those viruses, have you ever had a CD for the antivirus or something? You put it in the motherboard, you put it in the Mother Mary. That action, let's say that the angel that went to confirm the coming of Jesus, being born into this world, had to be confirmed through Mother Mary and David and through the DVD. That's basically saying that this CD had to be in place inside the motherboard in order for the system to write. That action, that confirmation box was the angel. You know how we update our computer? It says, you want to update this system? Yes, confirmed by Mary. Are you sure? Yes, confirmed by Joseph. Yeah, confirmed by Joseph, which came from the line of DVDs and had a CD. And so John the Baptist, very important figure, very, very important. Before this Jesus program took place, there was a loading box. John the Baptist represents that loading box. Like, everything was prophesied into John the Baptist. And after John the Baptist was beheaded or got killed, he made the way the program. After that box, that loading box was completed, then Jesus foretold could have, in my Bible, it's in chronological, it's summoned some chronological order. So after the beheading of John the Baptist, when Jesus prophesied his death, and after that he prophesied his coming. So after that loading box loaded up, after John the Baptist had made the way for Jesus, the program, Jesus sent, the CD is really inserted now. They're loading, the confirmation has been confirmed, the loading box has been loaded. And now Jesus is like, all right, so disciples, what I need y'all to do, I need y'all to go spread word everywhere. And I mean everywhere. And hurry up and do it, because by the time y'all get through spreading these words, I'm going to be already coming back. So that's basically like you insert a CD inside this system, inside the old world. Confirmed, loaded, and now the system is starting to spread all over the breaker and the motherboard. All like this. And this is disciples going everywhere, reaching out, spreading the word to every living creature, to everything that had breath. When you update your computer, and when you updating your computer, it sends a message throughout your whole computer. And whatever didn't get caught with the program, whatever you did not save, guess what? Got left behind. So, or deleted. You were given a warning. Now, when Jesus died for his people. Excuse me. When he came back for the world. When Jesus died, the flesh died, but the spirit didn't die. And so God don't see all that corruption. But he does, whatever we do is God don't see what we do. He sees how we feel when we do it. I gotta stop saying he, because God is male and female. Whatever we do, we have to do it with the right intent, because that's really originally how everything was created. Everything was created with good intent. And after Jesus' second coming, because the Bible does says immediately after the tribulation was the rapture. I will definitely go over these scriptures when I have more time, because I don't want to be an attack on anybody's religious belief. In fact, you can believe whatever religion you want to, as long as everybody doesn't judge what everybody believes. So what, you're a Christian? Doesn't make me feel like you're slapping your ancestors in the face, because you feed people when they're hungry. You clothe people when they need clothes. You shelter people when they need shelter. No, regardless of what religion you serve, those should be that's a natural God thing. Remember, God didn't make a religion, man made religion to control the masses. Back then, yes, they said Christianity was already in Africa before the white people got there. Yes, they said that. But that Christianity is way different from what's going on now. Let's say like this. when we prepare to update our computer, we do certain things like make sure it's fully charged. Like our phones, when we update it, we make sure it's fully charged, or else your phone can't update. You have to make sure it's completely charged. You have to make sure you don't turn it off. There's certain procedures you do in order for your system to update. Just like it was certain procedures for them to go through in order for that old world to pass away into the new. Some of them in that generation did not pass until the second coming of Christ. Some people want to say that Jesus is still coming. That's like updating your phone and still trying to update it. I mean, it's like trying to activate your phone. In fact, we have the book of Acts. That's when you have your first Antiochs. That's when the Holy Spirit was introduced. Things started activating. The book of Acts. Think about it, y'all. Everything is worded for a reason. Why do you think we say good morning? What is good about morning? I know it doesn't spell the same, but the vibration, the energy is still there. Morning, good morning. Why do people hate getting up in the morning? Start saying grand rising, good rising, God. I call my white people kings and queens, or kings. I call my black people gods and goddesses. That's just something personal, but hope nobody find disrespect to that, because black people didn't come up with king, queen, that type of thing. We had pharaohs, and that was male and female for one word, male and female, just like God is male and female. We looked at things as a pair. The 144,000, that's an even number. And the head of certain tribes, two became one. When you have a baby, you become one also. Everything for us, there are pairs, male and female, pairs, male and female. Even in Genesis, male and female. But this society has you thinking the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. No, it don't work like that. That's the Father, the Mother, and they are the Trinity because they have the Son or daughter. But us trying to go back to the old ways is just like trying to activate your phone after it's been activated. It causes a glitch in the matrix. It causes a glitch in the system. It causes stagnant energy. It causes disruption. It causes confusion. And confusion causes fear or anger. And fear breeds into anger. So this video is probably proceeded itself too long. But there are certain things that we don't have to do anymore. We don't have to do communion. One, my opinion, is disgusting. I can't believe I did it. Why would I pretend to eat flesh and drink blood if I really wouldn't do it in real life? The more we practice and celebrate dead, when we celebrate, we ain't celebrating nothing. When the cross is celebrated, it signifies the death. Not only that, but it seemed like two penises. I know I could be over exaggerating, but that's somebody else's teaching. And I keep knowledge on the side. Instead of it contradicting to my belief, I'd be like, I shop with knowledge. And I look at things like, oh, I ain't never heard that. I'll just put that in my basket of things to, keep in mind. And that's how I do my brain. Like, I just store that knowledge somewhere in the back. If I forget it, I forgot it. It ain't part of my belief. It's just a part of a link. It's how you create your links. That's how you start making sense with things. But it's very, very, very important that we just start manifesting positive outcomes. We don't have to do these old things. Technically, we don't really have to go to church. Yes, because your body is a temple. Not only that, because it's only meant to fellowship. God to fellowship with us, because we didn't have that inside of us, but we have God here, so that regardless of what, we don't have to show that we believe in God out there. It doesn't matter. That's our relationship with God. We're here enough. Isn't that enough? Explain how your heart is beating. What makes your heart beat? Do you tell your heart to beat? Why do you breathe? How are you breathing right now? How are you breathing? How do you wake up? And they're going to give you some type of, well, the body, you just did it. Yes, but who's running the system of the body? Who's telling the moon and the stars to rise like that? Because it done show ain't us. We already had electricity. That's the second substance of the sevens. That's the second substance of the seven substances. Magnetism, electricity. Then light, ether, gas, liquid, solids. 7. Crazy thing about the number 7. My birthday is June 7th. I'm the 7th. I'm the oldest of 6. That makes me the 7th. My shoe size is a size 7.5. My ring size is a size 7. My waist size is a size 7. If you add up June 7th, 1992, till you get to one digit, just keep adding up all the numbers until you get to one digit, numerology, it's a 7. I'm manifested. I don't know who, why, when, and where, but every single one of us have a purpose. And I plan on letting, how do I want to say this? I plan on teaching people about themselves. I don't know how to say that without, I'm not saying teach, but I want people, I want to give people the tools so they can learn themselves. I want to give you the tools so you can see how wonderful, how much of a purpose you are made, regardless of what you're going through on this earth. It ain't fair on these playgrounds. Sesame ain't safe on these streets. It's puppets out here. People hiding behind masks, costumes, uniforms. It's a business place for some people. I don't see how people don't have hearts. So it's very important to be yourself. The more you are being yourself, the closer you are to God. But that's all I'm gonna speak on today. I would definitely do Bible study. I'm just gonna do everything that I can now that I started this here, and that's something God always wanted me to do. But ever since, I will say that ever since the second coming of Jesus happened, this world has been it has been moving forward, but there are wicked people in high places that are holding us back, and they're trying to hold us down in a bad way. They're trying to shake us. And I don't mean us just as black people, because it's definitely happened to the majority of black people. But what these wicked people in the high places forget is that you got non-blacks out here with black friends. You got non-blacks out here who are married to blacks. You have non-black people who are out here with black children. And they don't play. I love non-blacks like that. It makes me feel loved. It made me feel like, thank you, even though you haven't been through what I've been going through, that you know that there's a problem. You see what you, so you're not black. I'm not a ghost. You see this, right? It feels like that. You don't feel ignored. When white people see there's power in the light. White people, y'all have power. Y'all do have power. And I'm not saying that with the ego. I'm not saying that out of a hurt place. I'm just saying that I know that y'all don't say certain things to protect black people because you get backlash, not only from your own family members, but from other black people. And you're like, bro, I'm on your side. I get it. And that's hard. They're making it hard for us to unite. They're making it, I believe that they're telling the KKK one thing. Because I know how the KKK started. It didn't start off with, in a good way at all. And it's still not, some of it's still not right. But I think y'all been lied to. Just in case there was any KKK members watching this beautiful black lady. Hi. But they've been lying to y'all. And they've been lying to us. And though we both have both sides of certain history that can't be ignored, it just seems like we're being played against each other. You can't outsmart me. I think I'm born to think myself outside the box. In fact, I'm just not going to picture a box so I don't feel trapped. They're using our differences against each other, like male and female. They're saying, oh, well, men can have periods. No, men can't have periods. That's just not going to happen. It's just, no, women are not going to grow. Some may can. And some men are born with vaginas. But one thing's for sure. It doesn't happen often. And I don't know anybody that has both parts, honestly, personally. But let's just say it's possible. And for that, you're a beautiful human. You're unique. You're God. If anything, doesn't make you any less of a human, doesn't make you any less of a spirit. You're wonderfully different if you're born with both parts or just with one part. We need to learn how to respect our differences. And regardless of, I know, like, let's say you have a special child, and you tell people, don't treat my child any different than you would any rest of them. Two things. One, you're right. another, they have to. Because you have to acknowledge the difference. And then from there, you don't treat them any different, as if somebody else would have that same special ability. So it does matter if you're black, and it shouldn't, but it does, because our kids' life are at stake. They will, some people are like, well, just stop making babies. But you just stop breathing, let the sun kill you. I'm sorry. When it comes to race, it's a very sensitive subject, but it definitely can't be ignored much longer. I would love to speak on Jacob. I would love to give you guys scriptures, and I would love to encourage y'all to not accept anything that you don't accept. To live. Don't accept the fact that, don't accept no facts. Let your belief be strong on it. Let your belief live. Because if you believe that something's going to harm you, it's going to harm you. If you believe that you will survive, you will survive. But you got to do some work at it too. Work on your belief. Because belief without works is dead. So I'm going to give y'all anything that I have in order to uplift y'all in this world. Because regardless if you're white, Mexican, black, Hindu, Christian, atheist, I understand why atheists are atheists. I understand why Christians and why other religions believe what they believe. I understand why atheists are atheists, because I can understand why they said there is no God. If God already came and this world is full of chaos, it looks like there's no God. I understand. But if they understood that they have similar powers like God, they could also believe in similar powers of God, like speaking life and speaking death and having the power to create. We may not speak the same way. We may not create life the same way, but you have power to create life. You have the power to kill without even touching. Just using what's inside your mouth. You don't even have to go nowhere. If someone tells you, yo, seriously, like from the hatred of their heart, until you go to hell, they cursed you. But it's up to you to stay spiritually protected. Or if I was an atheist, I would say it's very important for me to believe in myself that I'm powerful. Yeah, I'm human. But there's some things that I do that I can't explain. I feed people. I can clothe people. I can uplift a friend. I can stop somebody from killing themselves. I can make somebody kill themselves. You can make a difference, and that could be either good or bad. Just make sure that it's for the best outcome. Ever since the second coming of Jesus, we learned things about lucid dreaming. We learned things about universal laws. They never spoke of that in the Bible. Because the same wicked people that are telling you to wait on Jesus are using those same law of attraction to get their wealth. Bad things happen to good people too. But we can't let that make us do bad things. The word learned, if you take the L off, there's the word earned. When you do the work, that's earning. And whatever you earn, that's what you earned. But you learned. And sometimes it takes that L just to earn what you've learned. That's what the L for earned is for. That's how you learn. Pay attention to these words that they're giving us. Pay attention. In school, they call spelling. They call it spelling. Why would you call it spelling? It's like making spells. Why not call it lettering? Wording. In fact, when you take a bunch of letters and put them together and make a word, you get a sentence. Prison sentence. A word similar to ward. Everything is like in school is brick walls. They isolate you sometimes, and teacher tell you it's mean. I'm a substitute teacher. And the first thing they told us was that all children lie. Children are liars. That's what they tell us. Me, being a lover of kids, like, hold up. I didn't say nothing though. But when I got in them schools and I taught them kids, oh, Miss G, oh my gosh, she understands us. Can you be our teacher? That's me. But I'm like Nanny McPhee. I only come when you need me, but when you want me, I'm out of there. So it just keeps them amplified. I love kids. I never thought I would say that. Bruh, I love kids. But I love learning, and I love making learning fun. And I love reminding people. I'm going to say reminding people, because some people don't mind learning something new. And some people don't mind learning something new. But what everybody loves to naturally, every human loves to be told, like, you're right. And you are right. Telling somebody something like they already knew. There's something inside of us that we all know, and it's written on our hearts and our mind. And if we touch and agree with each other, then we could be dwell in the presence of God. God is a communion. God is a dual thing. We just have to tap into whatever we do in this time now. When God had to remind me like this: cause, effect, problem, solution. Because stuff happened, it affects some things, and that may cause a problem, but we don't stop at the problem. Notice the problem, and then focus on the solution. Stay at the solution. Ooh, my hand's tingly. That's very tingly. Energy arts. I do a lot of it. And right now my hands are getting very tingly. When I did that, God really did explain that to me. And I can't explain how God speaks to me. But it's the same way how God speaks to anybody else. We just don't know that it's God because nobody notices God. Nobody is noticing the silence that we're in. There's a reason why everything is being taken from us and why we're meant to and why everything is isolating us. Because you can only, like, when silence happens, everything else is louder. You start hearing things that you don't pay attention to, including God. And this is the time where we need to hear what God is saying. If you're by yourself, that's a good thing. I mean, I hate for people to die alone. I don't like that. With this COVID-19 stuff, y'all quit drinking cold stuff. Drink warm stuff. Drink anything warm. If it's juice in a cup that you just got the refrigerator, put it in the cup and put it in the microwave. Heat it up. Drink you some warm juice, some warm water, if you have to, warm soda. That sounds nasty, but I promise you the coronavirus is worse. So I'm going to hit y'all up with some more things. I'm going to try to do a video every Sunday. Let's start with every Sunday, because Sunday is just the day I feel the most verbal. And don't ever give up your faith, because faith in yourself. Keep that faith in yourself. If it works for you, it works for you. God never wanted to force his forced belief on nobody. After the second coming of Christ, during the Jewish and Roman War, or somewhere around that time, that's a real historical event, the Jewish and Roman War. And you can even look up Josephus Flavius. But whatever going on in your life, don't feed into it. Express it. Whenever you feel that anger, you wake up angry, meditate before your feet. Even if somebody's blowing your phone up, don't answer it. Don't, just thank God. Just thank. If you don't believe in God, think of things you're grateful for. Just think of things you're grateful for. At least three. At least three. Something in the power of the number 3, something in the power of number 7, and all other numbers, because they're all God's numbers. But 3. Not too much, not too less. Think of every morning. Think of 3 grateful things. Even if it's just air. But when you do it, mean it. Because when you mean something, that's when something happens. We don't have emotions for nothing. We don't think for nothing. When you feel it and you thinking, that's intent. I did this because I thought this, and this is what I want to happen. That is how you receive. Keep receiving. Allow yourself to feel love. Allow yourself to be alone. Allow yourself to feel. I don't care how many people you hear say, oh, you in your feelings. Yeah, because I'm not a freaking robot. Of course I'm in my feelings. I'm human. But you're not only human. Don't let nobody tell you that you're just human. That's like God saying, I'm just a spirit. So just keep whatever dreams you have, focus on them. I don't care how crazy you look doing it, do it. Because that's part of your purpose. Only when you stop being yourself is when you're not fulfilling your purpose. You are meant to be who you are for a reason. You have a mind so God can speak to you from the heavens. Is this not heaven? Jesus said. This is the dome. This is earth. This is a realm. Everybody has different realms. Everybody has different worlds. There are different gods. It's all in here. There are so many colors you can't even name inside of here. There are so many thoughts you can't catch in here. There are so many places you've been inside your mind than you've been in your physical body. There's a reason for everything. This building has never been so quiet. Like, I must be on the right path. You can't give up on yourself. If you don't have nobody else in this world, if you done wasted your time with people, make up that time by spending it alone with yourself. If you cannot enjoy your own company, you cannot enjoy nobody else's company. And nobody else can done sure enjoy yours. So enjoy yourself while you have yourself. Know yourself before you wreck yourself. Do what thou will. And what I mean is that don't let nobody rush you. There are plenty of stories I've heard that if only I hadn't rushed her, she wouldn't have died in that car accident. Don't rush people. Don't rush people and don't allow people to rush you. You don't treat others the way you want to be treated. You treat others the way you want to be treated as if you were them. Let me say that again. Treat others the way you want to be treated as if you were them. And to clarify that, put yourself in their shoes and then make a decision. Only when you walk in the foot, or only when you understand your enemy is when you realize what you must do or how you can make that person not your enemy, because y'all may have the same enemy. Like black and white people. We have the same enemy. We are not our enemy anymore. In fact, nobody really knows who our enemy is, which is more reason why we must unite and filter out what we don't need. If it's negative, do away with it, get thee behind. Whatever you do, like there are plenty of people that are telling me not to express this video. There were plenty of people who want good for you and will tell you not to do your purpose, not intentionally. You remember one of Jesus' disciples telling Jesus, look, you ain't got to go through that. Look, let's just do this. And Jesus told him, no, get thee behind me. You don't understand. Like, I got to do this. Some people don't want to see you go through that, but you got to go through it. How you going to overcome? People tell you don't cry. People tell you don't give up. You got to give up something. Because I gave up. And now in my life, but I gave up. At least I thought I did. But it turns out I was just letting go. And when I gave up and let go, things happen. That's when things start happening. When I stop looking at bad things, I let go and I let God. Let God have his way. And it's not that God is having his way. It's that God has a way to make your way. But the two got to touch and agree. When I told God what I want to go after, God said, okay. And I told God, look, listen, I'm homeless. I've been living out my car. I need to, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. I don't care what I look like. If you need me to go teach, I'll teach. If you need me to go preach, I'll preach. And that I don't like preaching, but in order, if I gotta do just that, just to get to this, so be it. Ashe. And here I am. And there you go. You didn't find this video on accident. You didn't see my face on accident. And I'm pretty sure I have plenty of twins out here somewhere. The lady told me yesterday, you ain't work up me up there in TKK? Lady, I've never worked in TKK. This lady looks so much like you. Because our energy don't die. But y'all, keep your spirits high. Keep your spirits high. Think highly of yourself. Loosen up and get a grip at the same time. Things you letting slip out your hands like finances, I know that's a major thing right now. Get a grip on it. Just get a grip on it. Just find out where you at with it and hold it. Pray for it. Make beautiful wishes on it. Send it to God and let it go. Because if you ain't got the money, you ain't got the money. So the best thing you can do is say, Lord, let me grab this bill real quick. Thank you. Because I know I don't have it right now, but I know you will make a way for me. Or if you're an atheist and I don't know. For atheists, I don't know. Let's just say you can say, I got this bill. And I'll speak to my situation. Speak to your situation. Whether you're Christian or any religion. Speak to your situation. Speak to your situation. And let your situation know, look, I don't accept being broke. I don't accept this hole I'm in. In fact, I'm getting out this hole. And you gonna help me do it. One day my bills gonna pay my bills. Whatever I put out, it's gonna come back to me, regardless. Don't accept nothing. You got a family member that's sick, don't accept it. Those doctors say they're gonna die, don't accept it. In fact, get rid of those doctors because they're trying to kill you spiritually and don't even know it. And that's worse than knowing. There's two forms of ignorance. One ignorance is where you know that, there's a truth out there, but you just ignoring the truth. So you ignore it, which makes you ignorant. And there's also another form of ignorance where you are too boast. You know too much. You're boastly, just too boasty. I don't need to know that. Nah, because I know this, I know that. And you don't want to learn from nobody. You're ignorant because you're still ignoring. And the best key for somebody who is not ignorant to deal with ignorance is in the word itself. Ignore it. Ignore it. So y'all keep grinding. I know y'all have to be in these workplaces, but really, Start speaking on your life like your life depended on it. And it does. Y'all say y'all only human, but y'all don't know how strong spiritually you are. Your ancestors are sending you numbers. There's a reason why you're seeing these numbers in repetition. You see 365, 536, 242, 846, 848, 242. 242, or numbers in that sequence, or 1111, 333, 222. Type in those numbers, go to Google, type that number in, and put angel number beside it. There is always positive information. Numbers don't lie. Remember that. So, y'all, I'm gonna try to uplift y'all with more information. I don't care if it's just one person watching or whatever. I gotta save the world. And I can't be all around the world at one time. But God made the internet, so I can. And you can too. Only thing is, we can do it. And we just gotta believe in ourselves. And anybody that's not with us, just like people who wasn't with that Jesus program, leave them. That's gonna be hard for you to do. If you can't bring them up, would you rather die in hell with them, or leave them in hell and bring them up? I mean, I'd rather not leave them, but I'm not gonna stay behind because you don't want to let go of your pain and your hurt, regardless of what we go through. And I hate to say it, to be the anchor of it, you can't hold on to that pain. You can't hold on to that hurt. You gotta get up. And speaking of getting up, God told me, and I promise you, this is it. God told me there's two things you need to get up when you have fallen. Oh, there's two things you need to get up when you are down. And your body isn't one of them. It's your mind and the ground. And I sat back in my car. I was like, I just let God go. I just let God talk. God say, try standing up in water. In my mind, I visually pictured myself trying to stand up in water. And I got the image of Aaliyah just, when she was floating and rocked the boat or whatever. I can't. I need the ground. When you hit rock bottom, you have a mind still. When you're on that couch and you have arms and legs and you want to reach that remote, but you don't feel like getting up. You don't want to move. That is why God says you need the mind. Because you gotta make up your mind to get up, or else you become lame. Only when we make up our mind, we can get up from whatever got us down. And even when we're down, we can use our mind to get up. We don't have to have these limbs. I mean, for some people, I can't speak on that, honestly. But for some people, that's different. I was thinking about a science thing. They said that the person with their leg, a person was sitting in the chair, and they was running some tests to see if the energy of his leg was still there, because he had his leg cut off, and it was there. It was still there. He believed that it's something about this world. We can manifest things into this world. Remember how did God manifest itself? Out of nothing. He started from the bottom. And started thinking his way up. Started manifesting. Start feeling. start connecting, start growing and expanding and coming right back around, remembering all that God is. And we got to do the same thing. All right, y'all. Peace, love, and soul. Love, peace, and hair grease. Y'all got this. Whatever y'all going through in y'all life, you got this. When you look in that mirror, just how you talk to yourself. For instance, if I was a basketball player, bruh, can't nobody see me. He can't check me. Bruh, I know. Do he know who I am? Bruh, if I'm a cheerleader, see? Go girl. Ooh. Can't nobody do better than me cause your hometown can't beat me. Like just whatever it takes to uplift yourself, lift yourself. And you ain't gotta have nobody to do it for you. So it's personal. Y'all live on, live strong. Remember, you are spiritual beings having a human experience. And you can do it. Manifest what you want. Manifest your life. And then teach others how to do it too. Love y'all.